Hey guys, this is Samuel Parandroid. I'm a music producer for more than a decade now, and I want to give you a little hint on what you need if you're just starting out your production. If you really, made a decision you want to get deeper into music production, what do you need? There are a couple of things that you really need. There is no circumvention, there is no way around it, and we are going to talk about those essential things that you need for music production today. Okay, so here we see my workspace, which is nothing special, and you don't need anything special. I really don't have that much of stuff, so it's a pretty basic setup. You have the Midi controller on the left, which is the SL25 MkII. You have my main synthesizer in the middle, the Virus TI-2. Then you have a sound card on the right. This is the Roland quad capture. And then you also have a clavier synthesizer on the side. Other than that, mouse and keyboard is self-explanatory. Other than that, at the moment I'm using a single display setup. So this is totally fine. You don't need a dual screen to start out. I worked many years with 2 screens, many years with 1 screen. I'm happy with both. A 1440p monitor in my case just gives me what I want. More screen space and everything on one point. And then let's go a little bit up here. What you can see here, of course, are the speakers. And those are a few of the things that you need when you're starting to produce. So, first things first. You're going to need a PC that is self-explanatory, but you're also going to need an audio interface. And you can totally start out with something simple, as for example the quad capture, which is nothing fancy at all. So you have to calculate maybe 100 euros at least. At the minimum, better you spend 200 and have something good to start with. And things to take care about when buying an audio interface is basically how many ins and outs you have. But a simple one will do. I will put some links in the description for simple audio interfaces that are worth buying. And then you need something to listen to what you are doing, right? This is also very important. So the next point is either speakers or very, very good headphones. I would recommend the Biodynamics. The Biodynamics are an industry staple company, and also the series, the DT series, is very good while remaining on an affordable price point for most producers and people out there. You can get them starting at 120 euros for the open variant, which is the best sounding, by the way. And you have 3 different types. You have half open ones, which are the most expensive ones. Then you have open ones, which have the best sound, but obviously don't, they don't cover your ear. So you're going to hear what is around you. So perfect for a studio, not so perfect for an airplane, for example. And you have the closed ones, which are for situations where you really want to be shut out of the rest of the stuff that is going around you. And those are, for example, good for drummers or in a recording booth. I would recommend the half open variant or the open variant, either of those, depending on what you want. This is a good way to start, and you can start to work with those and have reliable frequency representation. And if you want to go the next step, and you're really sure you are going to make music anyway, so why not buy some speakers? You can start investing in active monitor speakers for around maybe something like 350 euros would be a good minimum starting point. But the good stuff starts around 500 a piece. So depending on your wallet, basically, you could go either for a little bit more expensive one that will last you maybe 10 years or 12 years, or you can go for something like the KRK Rocket series, which is very cheap and not 100,000,000% accurate, but nothing will be in the beginning, especially since you probably don't have an acoustically measured room with panels and just the placement and everything, so you don't need a perfect speaker to begin with. It just should aim for linearity, and yeah, there you go, the Yamaha HS80 come into mind, as well as the KRK. So those two things. Then PC, what PC do you need? What do you need? I would recommend at least 8 GB, definitely, and the high as you can go, basically, processor-wise, because this will speed up everything what you are going to do, okay? Everything, every calculation, every rendering will speed up the process. A graphics card is not necessarily needed, but if you're also doing video work and using stuff like Premiere or After Effects, it is definitely helpful and beneficial for those things, because the rendering will be done partially by the GPU, and that helps a lot. So if you can invest in a GPU, then do that as well. You need a good hard drive, that is very important. SSD would be very good. If you can't afford that, go for the highest RPM normal hard drive that you can, but nowadays really there is almost no excuse of not owning a SSD if you have a laptop. Upgrades are possible and usually very easy. So what else? Yeah, a Midi keyboard or a Midi controller. Those two things are very important in the beginning, I think, to just have a more, organic approach to making music. You are going to be able to play the sounds on the keyboard and record them in real time, etc. You can also use Midi controllers to just control various things with your hands, and you should get used to that, because this is the real way of working. If you're, stepping up the game, in the end, you will use your hands more and more and hardware more and more, and in most cases at least. So I recommend getting a Midi controller. You can get those for very cheap. I think they're starting at something like around 30 euros for the nano control and the, well, thousands of different Midi controllers out there. To be honest, like, any does the job. In the beginning, it's not so important to have a really good weighted keyboard or half-weighted keyboard, so that's really not a big concern in my opinion. The one that I have is a little bit more advanced. It has, touch-sensitive controls, a screen, and a software accompanying it to make your life more easy, but in the end, it doesn't matter. Anything that is a Midi controller will do the job for you, and a keyboard will just get you to create stuff more musically. So what else is there to say? I think that pretty much rounds it up. Let me know if you have any questions or any thoughts. Put them down in the comment section below, and I'm glad to answer them, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.